Hello again, people. CK here. And I've got another little film today, to do a little quick review. So, I'll split it up this time. Spoiler free for, the first, maybe 5, 7 minutes, depending on how long I go on a tangent. And the other half will go through a few spoilers. But yeah, I just watched Alien Romulus. And I've got to tell you just how good it is. I was thoroughly impressed with it because a lot of the new Alien films just aren't much to my liking, really. I think after Aliens, you just start getting a bit downhill, with, Alien 3, and the list just goes on, you know what I mean? When you got a bald Ellen Ripley screaming at some stuff. To be fair, that's all I can remember. I just remember holding maybe, is it a little baby alien or something like that? I can't remember. Or friends with a baby alien, I don't know. I haven't watched those in a long time. And the Prometheus films, not really for my liking, but Alien Romulus, damn. I was impressed. I thought this was a good little return to form, which I heard they were inspired by Alien Isolation quite a lot, and obviously the first Alien film, which you can see in this, which is quite nice, as well as having the little action scene. But yeah, this was really good. I quite liked the filmography or cinematography, whatever word you want to use for it. The actual scenes were just breathtaking and beautiful. I didn't watch it at the cinema, I watched it on the TV. And yeah, I quite like it. I did regret not going to the cinema. I just haven't been not much recently. But the actual, you could just see it, the scenes, it just really told quite a story. And also as well, I feel like it kept with the theme of most the theme of most Alien films, where it's a lot about speaking about corporate greed and a lot of what could happen if our society really just transcends into that, where you just got companies deciding where it's not much of a spoiler, but one of the characters is working on a mining colony for one of the main companies, and she's worked a contract which is pretty much like slave labor at that point. You're doing a deal where you can't really cross out of it, jump out and be like, nope, pardon me. And yeah, she's finished her 5 years, and in a straight away just double it. I said, no, you're not finished it. Because of short labor problems, you've got to double it. Which just straight away just makes you, strike a chord, and especially, if you ever worked, you just start thinking, what absolute... yeah, you just think, what absolute scumbags. And, throughout the film, it does sense a lead. I don't think it's a super presence in the film, in the later half, but it's still there. And yeah, it's really good that they still carry on with that theme, because it is a very big theme in Alien films and the Alien franchise, just how corporate greed can really just screw everyone in the... I love how I was trying not to swear. But might have to cut that out, you never know. But yeah, just really ruin a lot of people's lives. And yeah, it's really crazy. I was really, really just impressed as well with some of the characters. Not so much all the time, but in some ways, some of the relationships. And also, I think there was one character who was such an annoying guy, just because he was mean to the android, which I'll point out, there might be a hint of spoiler. There is an android in this film, like in most Alien films, which I love. I love the androids. Well, not all the time. The first Alien film, you're just no, get away from me, android. But yeah. And there's a few little bits and bobs, stupid human decisions, which would most likely happen anyway, so you can't really argue that couldn't possibly happen. And yeah, it's just quite impressive how that really drove a thing in you, as well as some of the relationships to, the android and someone else. And yeah, it's just, it's quite good. It's a good solid movie, I'd say. A good solid return to form. It's obviously, for me, it's not as good as the first Alien film. It's definitely not it's not as good as Aliens either, but it is a good film. It's right. And yeah, if I was going to give it a rating, it'd be 7.9, which I think is a strong thing. I would push it over 8, but you got to remember, I gave I can't remember what I gave Aliens. Was it an 8.3 or 2, or was it an 8.9? It might have been an 8.9. I just don't think it was on that level, because I'd put Alien, the first one, at a good solid 9, just because of how amazing it still holds up. So I just couldn't really justify making it that close to it. But for me, it is a strong movie, especially when I would give all the other films like below 6. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's get on to the spoiler section. Spoilers. Yeah, let's talk about the android presence in this film, because apparently a lot of people hated the return of the second android we get in the film. I can't quite remember his name, but he was from like the original Alien films, which they used I think they used AI or maybe some sort of technology or puppetry to, show a face from so long ago, which a lot of people are getting annoyed about, which I understand. It might be disrespectful to the actor. I don't know if he's alive still. But when you have an android model like that, law sense and things like that, it does make sense. And it'd be disappointing if previous sort of like history and law like that could just be thrown away just because of obviously the actor can't return, which obviously it's a really long discussion, which obviously I don't really want to go into today. But I didn't really find it an issue, and I quite liked the return, and a lot of the themes from the, it was big callback to the first film, which there were actually a few callbacks to the Alien franchise. Like one in particular is when Danny, our android friend, who halfway through the film decides to turn evil. You see him when he like drops down, like shooting the last alien xenomorph, and he's like, "Don't touch her, you bitch." There's something along those lines by Ellen Ripley. I think it was said in Aliens. Well, it might have been other stuff as well. You never know. They do like to use some of the phrases like back in those days, reuse them. But it was quite a few good callbacks, and I think the biggest thing I want to say, it's the thing that's on my mind the most, is why the hell did she inject that in her neck? Like, damn. Everyone said, no, bad idea. And she was like, I must inject it the minute she's left on her own. And you're just like, no. But to be honest, it would have been quite a bit of short film compared to a normal Alien film. I was thinking when it finished and they got off the ship, the big ship, I mean, that, oh my God, it's just ended now. And then you get reminded, oh God, yeah, something's bad's going to happen once you saw like the life support beam go down, which, can I just say, the human xenomorph hybrid, that is so cool. I hope we see more of it in the future, because that is just awesome. And I think the fact that they've added this into it, hopefully you get some sequels, hope you get some future films, because I really feel like they could go down that avenue where, like, say, like they start, I know the name of one of the companies. Oh, I should know, because I remember watching like a few documentaries on them in the past. Utani? Was it the Utani Corporation? Or am I thinking of another like franchise? Yeah, my bad if I've Yatani. I might sound one of them, because there actually is a few companies and I just can't quite remember them. But yeah, I think they could easily go into future franchises. They could do like an Aliens-esque film in the future where they got inspired by this one. And obviously I had a new Alien Isolation game coming out at some point, I believe. So maybe they could pick up some more stuff from that. And I would love like an Aliens film / human hybrid type equivalent to it, because you could see with this with the aliens that they were somewhat quite smart, and yeah, with this one in particular, this xenomorph hybrid, it adapted so quickly, like very, very quickly, and was incredibly smart, except for like the last bit when it's like just looking like, what the hell happened? Oh, my egg acid has gone all over the floor. And yeah, and it obviously died due to vacuum. Its biggest weakness is xenomorph, a vacuum cleaner. No, I'm only joking. But yeah, it was so impressive how it outsmarted them, her straight away after only being alive for maybe like a few minutes. And it was incredibly creepy, and what was menacingly about it was with the human features, like it was smiling at her, like as it was about to kill her, or attempt to kill her, I mean. As long as, very small, initial little things, just off the body language, which I feel like in future films could really be added upon, which just makes it such a cool concept, especially since it was only added right at the end of the film for probably like 20 minutes or something like that. I couldn't remember the exact call time. I was so entranced in the film. And it was a 2-hour film, so I presume it was like 20 minutes. And yeah, that was just so cool and really done well, especially the design, like the long like tail, neck and the height and the claws and just a very human face. The only thing I would say was an issue is it did remind me of it. Are they called the builders, like the blue people in... Sorry, I had some garlic bread before. Prometheus, and Alien Prometheus, is that what it's called? Or is it called Prometheus? But yeah, it did remind me of them, which I didn't quite like. I thought they could have changed the colour slightly. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. It could have been a whole thing, you never know. Like, some people have just gotten offended depending on what sort of colour it is. And it would have been strange if they like chose like a colour like, you know, like yellow or like blue or something like that. But with this one, I say it's like a faint blue, very pale look. But I don't know if it's me because I'm slightly colourblind, but for me it looks very like light blue. Which, yeah, I've talked about that enough. Yeah, the actual, what have I going to really say, really? I'd say the other cast of characters could have stayed around a bit longer. I just felt like they kind of died off as soon as they came on. I mean, you had that bratty guy. How do I remember his name? Bjorn? Is that his name? The guy who's like mean to Danny. Is it Danny? His name? I think the android's name is Danny. And that's probably why I remember this Bjorn. I was just like, leave him alone. He's a nice guy. And yeah, I was like thinking, Jesus, is this guy gonna kill off? Come on, get him killed off. And then when he actually did, I think what kind of helped his character for me was how realistic he was as a human. Like ignoring this robot and his short little information about how his parents died. Like, that was very interesting because it just straight away, you know, a problem that he's doing where he's being, you know, which is problematic for me as an audience, where I'm just kind of like, damn, this guy, why has he been so mean to this android? Then you have a reason behind it, and then bit by bit the way he's talking to him, you think, damn, you're being a bit harsh here, man. I have a bit of like leeway for you. But then some of the actions afterwards, like the way he straight away tries to save his, I don't know whether it was his girlfriend or his friend, they seemed pretty close, and tried to fly off there just to get away. I mean, he even said he was going to come back for him. I don't know if he would have, but he was trying to get her to somewhere safe, and that was very a human reaction, I'd say. And plus, when it did all go to, you know, pairs up and all that, you saw him actually being smart, which was a shame because he chose the wrong weapon against the wrong alien. I think if he had some time to get her and him out there, because he obviously knew the codes, like he must have knew some of the codes because he managed to get in there all right and shut the doors and all that. Though it might have just been easy like flipping to actually open it. You need like some sort of access codes. So it was a bit of a shame he died. I don't even barely remember the girl he tried to save because she barely spoke really. Like I think for the first bit of the film she was off. Then we did get a bit more of the other character, the lady with like curly hair and long curly hair. Who was like pregnant. Who obviously the stupid one jabbing in her neck. Damn, how do I only remember one guy's name in the entire film? I hope actually there might be two. You know, maybe I got Danny right. You never know. But yeah, this was just such a good film. I mean, for me, it was enjoyable. I know I gave like a 7.9, but that's a good film. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'd recommend it to everyone. I really do recommend it to you, especially if you like sci-fi. Definitely recommend it. If you like aliens, absolutely recommend it. We've been fed so much trash for a while. I don't mean to dislike Prometheus in that second film, but Prometheus it was interesting, but that's only if you like watch like the major edit one where they actually add all the stuff they cut out for time, which again, like, why would you cut everything that made sense? And also as well, you need some of the scenes with subtitles, especially if like you're looking at the alternative cuts. So actually, I'm going into a tangent about Prometheus, something like that, but yeah. If you like aliens films, watch it. If you want a good little bit of a thriller, watch it. If you want to see someone a bit cool, watch it. And if you like musicals, why are you watching this channel? I don't watch musicals. Go back to your musicals. But yeah, CK out. Bye bye.